Causative indicates that a subject either causes someone or something to do or be something or brings about a change. English uses the verb make to express the causation. Example, he made me drive the car. But in Kazakh, there are morphological devices or suffixes that change the verbs into their causative forms. Example, men oğan есікті ашқыздым. I made him open the door. Having learned the passive, reflexive, and the reciprocal voices, in this video we will learn the final voice, the causative. As we said, causative indicates that a subject or agent causes the indirect object to perform a certain action. The subject is usually human beings or animates, but also can be an inanimate entity. There are two examples to capture the concepts accurately. Men Almatıga bardım. I went to Almaty. This is an active sentence where the subject, men, I, performs the action on his own free will. If you look at the predicates bardım, it retains the verb stem bar to go, the past tense marker the, and the first person singular ending m. But the expression men onu Almatıga bargızdım. I made him or her go to Almaty. This is a causative sentence in which the subject men, I, made or caused the direct object onu, him or her to go to Almaty. In this sentence, the predicate bargızdım contains the verb stem bar to go, the causative suffix gız, the past tense marker the, and the first person singular ending m. Compared to the active sentence, there is a causative suffix that appears immediately after the verb stem. Unlike the voices we learned previously, the causative voice has a set of suffixes, and sometimes the occurrence of these suffixes is not entirely predictable by morphological environments alone. The most productive causative suffixes are gız, dır, ıt, and ar. Each of them has 3 or 4 variants. The forms dır, dır, tır, tır are used in the following morphological environments. Specifically, dır and dır appear if the verb stem ends in u, i, l, n, ng, z, depending on the back or front syllable distinctions. Example, koydır, let someone put. Yazdır, let someone write. Sezdir, let someone feel. Bildir, let someone know. The forms tır and tır are used when the stem ends in voiceless consonants. Example, açtır, let someone open. Ayttır, let someone tell. Kestir, let someone cut. Tıktır, let someone sew. There are some irregular verbs, namely 3 verbs kill, to come, öl, to die, and tol, to be full, take the endings tır and tır, although they ended in consonants l. Example, kiltır, make someone come. Öldür, make someone die. Or to kill someone. Toltır, let something to be full. The endings gız, gız, kız, kız occur in these situations. Specifically, the gız and the gız appear if the verb stem ends in u, i, l, r, n, ng, z, depending on the back or front syllable distinctions. Example, torguz, let someone stand up. Toyguz, let someone be full. Birgız, let someone give. Singız, let someone believe. The forms kız and kız are used when the stem ends in voiceless consonants. Example, жатқыз, let someone lie down. Atqız, let someone shoot. Ötküz, let someone pass. Жеткіз, let someone or something reach. As we have seen, both forms tır, dır, tır, tır on the one hand, gız, gız, kız, kız on the other appear in same environments except for the liquids r, namely, the forms dır and dır cannot appear if the verb stem ends in r. In such case, it must be gız or gız. For example, oturğuz, let someone sit down. Barğız, let someone go. Жүргіз, let someone walk. Bergіз, let someone give. We don't say oturdur, bardır, жүрдür, or berdir. Those are wrong. Except for the stem endings in r, the variants dır, dır, and gız, gız can appear after stem endings u, i, l, n, ın, z without semantic difference. For instance, aldır or algız, let someone take. Жаздыр or жазғыз, let someone write. Сендір or сенгіз, let someone believe. Bildir or bilgiz, let someone know. Qoyğız or qoydır, let someone put or stop. Tuğdır or tuğız, let someone or something to give birth. All those forms are correct, so you can use the one you like. The forms kız, kız, and tır, tır occur in the same environments without meaning distinctions. For example, aşkız or aştır, let someone open. Kestir or keskiz, let someone cut. Tıktır or tıkkız, let someone sew. Töktür or tökkız, let someone pour. All those forms are equally correct. The third variant of causative suffix is t, it, and it. The forms it, it come after stem final voiceless consonants. Example, korkut, cause someone fear. Ürküt, make someone take fright. The form t comes after the stem final vowels and the i, r, l, n. Example, qarat, cause someone look at. Söylet, make someone speak. Okut, let someone read. Quant, make someone happy. The last form of the causative suffix r, ir, appear stem final consonants k, k, s, sh, t. Example, qaytar, let someone return. Shugir, cause something kneel down. Ösür, let something or someone grow. Ketir, let someone leave. Qaşır, let someone run. Those forms are less productive among all forms. They are only limited to a few verbs. Furthermore, most of the verbs derived from those forms are lexicalized, so they are not causative anymore. For example, köşür, to move, шығар, to go out, түсір, to go down, and so on. In addition, some verbs taking causative suffixes to produce new verbs. For instance, öl, to die, versus öldür, to kill. Kör, to see, versus көрсет, to show. Оқы, to read, versus оқыт, to teach. Түсін, to understand, versus түсіндір, to explain. Jür, to walk, versus жүргіз, to proceed, and so on. I think creating a new verbs from causative is quite clear here. For instance, öldür, to make someone or something die, is to kill. Having learned the complex endings of causative voice, you should know about the functions and the uses of causative verbs. Causative suffixes can be added to both transitive and intransitive verbs. Within a sentence, it changes a transitive verb to an intransitive and vice versa. By the way, transitive verbs needs a direct object so that the action passes from the subject to the direct object. Example, оқы, to read, жаз, to write, kör, to see. Intransitive verbs, on the other hand, do not need a direct object to make sense. Example, bar, to go, kill, to come, ber, to give. Firstly, while taking causative suffix, an intransitive verb turns into a transitive verb. This can be seen in the following examples. Men тұрдым, I stand up. Here the verb тұр, to stand, is an intransitive verb which doesn't need a direct object. But if you add causative ending to the verb тұр, to stand, it turns into a transitive verb requiring a direct object. So it should be like мен оны тұрғыздым. I make him or her stand up. Similarly, bala қорықты, the child is scared, is an active sentence where the verb қорық, to be scared, is an intransitive verb. But if it takes the causative suffix qorqut, to be scared, needs a direct object. So the sentence should be like bala meni qorqutdi. The child makes me scared. One more example. Men quvondim. I was happy. Бұл іс meni quvondырды. This event makes me happy. Here the subject men in active sentence is changed to a direct object in causative sentence. Secondly, while taking a causative ending, the transitive verbs turn into intransitive verbs, which needs a subject, a direct object, and an indirect object. In this case, the direct object is in the accusative case, but the accusative ending can be deleted. The indirect object takes the dative case. Let's see an example. Jaz, to write, is an transitive verb which needs a direct object but not an indirect object. So we should say men xat жаздым. I wrote a letter. Here xat letter is a direct object where the accusative case is deleted. But you also can say men xatты жаздым. I wrote the letter. Whereas if you add a causative suffix to the verb jaz, to write, then it becomes an intransitive verb requiring a direct object and indirect object along with the subject. Therefore, your causative sentence is men Asqarga xat жаздырдым. I made Asqar to write a letter, in which the transitive verb jaz, to write inflecting with causative ending, requires a direct object xat, the letter, where the accusative case is deleted, and an indirect object Asqarga, to Asqar. Here are some examples. Ол бізге өлең айтқызды. He or she let us sing. Мен оқушыларға кітап оқыттым. I make the students to read. Шеше баласын төсекке жатқызды. The mother lets her child lie in bed. Біз оны қазақша сөйлеттік. We let him or her speak Kazakh. Two causative suffixes can appear together for emphasis. The most common combinations are ıt plus қыз. Example, жасат қыз, let someone to make something. Ustad қыз, cause someone to hold something. The forms dır can appear after ғыз. Example, жуғызdır, make someone to wash something. Alғızdır, make someone to buy something. The form ıt may occur after dır. Example, aldırт, make someone to buy something. Жаздырт, make someone to write something. Other combinations may possible also. I also hear native speakers say жудырғыз or жудырт, except жуғызdır, make someone to wash something. I wouldn't say they are wrong. It is just a dialectical feature. You may be thinking, this is so crazy, adding two causative suffixes to the verbs to make things complicated. How am I supposed to learn all this stuff? Well, the good news is there is no big meaning distinction between the verbs containing single causative and the one with the double causative counterpart, so you can use the one you want. For instance, мен оқушыларға кітап оқыттым. I made the students to read. Мен оқушыларға кітап оқытқыздым. I made the students to read. Мен 2 жәшік алма алдырдым. I let someone else to buy 2 boxes of apples. Мен 2 жәшік алма алдырғыздым. I let someone else to buy 2 boxes of apples. Both forms are correct. If you still haven't mastered the rules yet, my suggestion is just pick a single suffix and add it to the verb. It is always simple and correct. I know the causatives are quite complicated and sometimes even confusing, but there is no easy way to master the suffix at a glance, so you must work hard to learn them. I hope you enjoyed the video and thank you for watching.